Hey, it's Daryl at 10 Foot Truck Good Attitudes Services. Pickup, deliveries, hauling, removals, junk removal, clean outs, commercial, residential, etc. So anyway, I'm here. I just did another tire delivery. I'm sure you're tired of hearing that. I mean, that's all I talk about. Tire deliveries. I love those tire deliveries, though. That's why I do them. Because if I'm not getting another job with the truck, I'm taking it out if I see one of those tire deliveries. And it's been consistent. Like I said, and I probably missed one this week because I was doing another job. It took all day, and I think that was on a Thursday. Normally I'll get one. So I could have had 3 this week, maybe more. But I always seem to get a couple a week, and I always like to do them. And today's an absolute stellar day. It's beautiful out. Out here in Spokane, Eastern Washington area, Northern Idaho, early October, it has to be the best weather in my opinion. I mean, it's you can't get any better than this weather. It's perfectly clear outside. See, beautiful clear skies. So beautiful clear skies. It's cool. I don't know what the temperature is, but probably like can't be any hotter than 70. It's got to be maybe in the upper 60s. Absolute best weather of the year. You know, some people like it the summers. I really like the fall. I like the autumn weather. And the trees start turning different colors, and it really keeps cool, and it's nice, just comfortable weather. Not too hot. I really don't like hot weather. I know a friend of mine. He loves all the hot weather. He loves going to Vegas, and those when it's in the middle of summer, and he'll come up and visit me up here, and it's like when it's really hot, like around July, it's like he can get up 100 or over, and he's like, "Oh, this is great." And it's like, "Yeah, I don't know about that." I mean, I can understand summers are being cold, but I like this kind of weather, so I'm enjoying it. That's why I went out on a tire delivery, just to enjoy it. Just go take a little road trip. Went out to Idaho. I get paid for it. It's cool. It's just just throwing some set of tires in there and driving it out. So I get to see areas, and I'm seeing that like Post Falls area. The Post Falls area when I came out of Rathdrum, Idaho, is really developing. I mean, they're putting a lot of roads, houses, apartments, and that place is developing fast. So, and I'm close to that area. I'm just like right over the border in the valley, and so that's going to be a lot of businesses I could see coming in the future. I see a lot of potential business for me, or for obviously for people who are in construction, which means obviously people who are in moving furniture and junk removal and any kind of service is going to be on the rise in this area. I can see it, and so I was good to go out there and see it, because I was driving in areas I didn't really ever go out to, and I was amazed at these roads they're constructing out there. I mean, there's just farmland, but they must be preparing for something, and there's houses that are moving out in that direction, subdivisions and apartments, and it's a fast-growing little area, and it's connected to the valley, Spokane Valley, and then Spokane. So that this whole market in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, all the way up in those areas, it's kind of like one little metro area, and it is growing extremely fast. Houses are getting very expensive, the rents are going up, but I'm just looking at it. I try to look at things positively. I know a lot of people, I know the rents are going up, and it can be tough, when that happens. And I know a lot of people locally are complaining about all these Californians moving out here, and people from Seattle and Portland moving out here. So I hear a lot of those complaints, but I'm like, well, the way I look at it, I'm trying to look at it positively. I'm looking at those are potential customers. Everyone who moves out here and comes out in this area is going to need services, and they're going to need, if you're a business owner, you should be happy about that. I mean, I know, like, if you want areas, you don't want all the traffic and all that. I can understand that if you grew up here, but if you're trying to make money, trying to run a business, I think you'd be happy about it. I really don't think most people don't want to live in a place that's depressed. That's like a depressed economy, where things are going the opposite direction, where things are, people are moving out, and and you know, companies are moving away and that kind of thing. You don't want to live in that place. That's like Detroit. Detroit is like a place that used to be booming, and I've been through Detroit when I was a truck driver. I went to Detroit in the early '90s, and it was already a boarded up town. Even in the early '90s, it was already. You could see the unemployment, the people, homeless people, all the buildings boarded up. Downtown was really, you know, kind of like a ghost town. I mean, it was pretty sad. And that was in the early '90s. We're talking 1992. I have no idea what it's like now, but that's the kind of town it's really a tough place to live, tough place to run a business. So I'm happy that I'm in an area that's actually booming. It's like people are coming here. It's expanding. They're building commercial places. They're building houses, building apartments. There's businesses moving here. That's the kind of place you want to run a business. If you're going to run something, I mean, I know not everybody can live in those type of towns. So you got to start where you're at. But I'm just thinking positively for myself. And when I hear people complain about it, I'm like, how can you complain about that? Because you're going to make good money. You're going to develop new customer relations with people and communities. And eventually, you can make enough money where maybe if you want to move out into the middle of nowhere and get away from the city, you'll have the money to do it. But you got to have somewhere, a base place to start, a place to have your foundation and your company. You want to, for me, I feel fortunate to be in an area that is going to grow and expand, at least for now. I mean, we don't know in the future. I've heard of a housing boom, a housing bubble. That could cause the things to go the opposite direction. So there you go. I mean, you don't really know. There's no way of knowing. I'm sure the people in Detroit, when it was booming with the car industry, I mean, I've seen movies about it. It was just a thriving area. All the businesses were thriving, and then all of a sudden, the car industry decided to move overseas and all that, and then it all went south, and then a lot of businesses closed down. A lot of people moved out, and there was a lot of empty houses. But there's still people, living there and doing business. But I know it's probably a tough thing. So we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to ride the wave right now, and just happy to be on the road and enjoying the weather right now. Trying to be as positive as I possibly can. And I think that's the way everybody should be, to make things, be happy, positive, friendly. That's another thing. I'm always grateful and friendly when I go to a job. I'll try to be a grateful, friendly person, because I think that goes a long way. That helps build customer relations, and I think it's very important to do that. So that's my that's how I try to be as much as I can, even if I'm not feeling like this feeling at my best. I still try to have that positive attitude. And that's kind of why I started calling my company Good Attitudes, because a good attitude goes a long way. Whatever you're doing, that attitude is going to open up the doors for you. It's going to give you those opportunities. I know that when I go to do a job and I'm nice, friendly, and happy, and trying to do the best that I can on that job, those people definitely pass out my card, or they definitely will call me back, and they'll become a repeat customer. I've operated my business in 3 different cities, 2 different states, not because I wanted to, it's because of the way things happen in my life. I had to move each time I start my services. If something happened, I had to move, and then move back, and I think I moved like 3 or 4, at least 3 times in the last 2.5. In the last 3 years, I've moved to 3 different cities, and we're talking about areas that are way far away, not like right next to each other. I mean, I moved from Portland. I started in Seattle, my service. I moved to Portland, which is like 200 miles or 3. I don't even know the miles. Anyways, it's quite a ways down south of there. I started there, and I started building business. Then I had to get out of there. I moved to Seattle, and I was there for a while. And then now I moved to Spokane. So Spokane's about 4 or 5 hours from Seattle. So these are areas that are way removed from each other. So I did do now here in Spokane, there are opportunities for taking freight and stuff over to Seattle, but it's a long drive, so I don't normally do those. But when I was in Portland, I did do a lot of jobs back and forth. It's a little bit closer. not right next to each other, but you know, you're going at least 3 or 4 hours driving back and forth. But it's an easier drive because it's just even in the winter it doesn't snow on that. It's you're more sea level. Where here you're up high, it's like a couple thousand feet above sea level, so you get more snow. And then having to go over to Seattle, and if you had to do that, you're gonna have to drive over the Cascades, which is a lot of snow, and usually sometimes I'll close it down. So that's not really ideal for wintertime travel. In the summer you can go. I've gone over there and done jobs and come back. I just don't like driving over the Cascades with the truck too much, because it does put some strain on the transmission because you're going pretty high grade. So I like to do the flat runs. And going to Idaho, this is just, you're not going up any steep grades. It's pretty flat. So anyway, I've been rambling on, enjoying the weather. I think it's time to probably head home and get some lunch. So that's it for me today. Just doing the tire deliveries, Idaho, and then I have my ads up and hoping for another job, maybe tomorrow or later on this afternoon, while the weather is very nice. Either that or just going to go to the park and take a walk. But hope everybody's doing great. Good attitudes, services, 10-foot truck. Checking out. Have a good day. Bye.